People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Whoever coined the phrase, "This is a generation of viper," it appropriately applies to these lazy, good-for-nothing SCUMB bag Jamaican youth that are now existing in Jamaica. When I tell you on several occasions that, listen, you can't trust nobody, you can't trust the po-po, you can't trust politician, you can't trust friends, you can't trust relative, you can't trust nobody, none at all. I am going to give you a perfect example. A 62-year-old Jamaican living in Connecticut. She's also a resident of Jamaica, like I said. She recently lost a sister. Obviously, she is going to be distressed. Obviously, she is not going to be in the best state of mind. She decides that she's going to come to Jamaica and make funeral arrangements. Make funeral arrangement is the appropriate word. That means the funeral never pay for yet. She left from Connecticut on Wednesday and she came to Jamaica. When she came to Jamaica, she was picked up by a relative name unknown. She was staying with a relative in Portmore in St. Catherine. That was Wednesday. Based on the po-po reports and the account of this lady, she left from the house in Portmore and she went to Portmore Mall. She went to meet with a lady known as Tamika Wise. Damika or Tamika Wise. Known as is the operative word. That means she don't really know her. That is the name that she was introduced to her as. My name is Damika or Tamika Wise. It is said that she met with Tamika. They went into a white motor vehicle. When she went into the white motor vehicle, she observed that there were also two men in the motor vehicle. I am going to say the driver and then a next man in the back seats. Soon as them drive off, the two men start ATTACKING, the elderly lady. Meaning that them start to put on all sorts of kitchen utensil in her chest cavity. Them juke her up very, very badly. They then drove from Portmore, St. Catherine, to a place called Singeridge that is in Clarendon. So I am saying that them take the toll about 45 minutes to an hour or so, and they were in Clarendon, Singeridge in a Clarendon. That was when them throw the lady in a some sorts of precipice, and then them drive off, leave the lady for DEAD. Residents are passed by. Them hear all sorts of hollering sound. People are cry, somebody are cry. Them check pan a stock and realize it's a old lady. Them see the old lady a crawl out of the precipice. Them call the po-po. The po-po come. Saw this lady in a very bad state. Meaning that all sorts of wound in her chest. All sorts of BLOOD over her body. They rushed her to the hospital. She was in serious condition. Pretty much they left her for DEAD. Based on the po-po report, it is said that the people in the vehicle stole her purse with personal belongings. By personal belongings, we can assume that it is not her spectacle, it is not her genital, it is more like cash. Cash or money was the motive, in my opinion. she probably went to meet these people with the money for the word that I told you, the operative word, for funeral arrangements. So therefore, me no know if somebody tell her, say, you know, say, me know some people with some sorts of funeral home, and me I go link them, and them want X amount of dollars, thousands of dollars, so you can lay your sister to rest. Now people, remember, based on what the Popo are saying, the person that is a suspect is known only as Tamika or Damika Wise. That means this elderly lady that left from Connecticut don't really know this person, was just or recently introduced to that person. The question I have to ask is this, and I hope that the person or the relative in which she was staying at her place in a Portmore can call me and clarify. 1-876-894-2711. Why is it that this elderly lady, your relative, came to Jamaica on Wednesday? Within 24 hours of coming to Jamaica, she meet with a lady that she know only as Tamika or Damika Wise. Am I to assume that you did not do the vetting process? You never ask this elderly lady, which part you are go, who you are go meet, where you are go meet them for? People, pick sense out of nonsense. People in a Jamaica paranoid. People from Jamaica who live overseas are even more paranoid. They are petrified of Jamaica based on what they hear. Anything you and I experience or hear in a Jamaica, when it reaches a foreign, it is amped up. So therefore, the people are even more paranoid. They are not going to meet with any sorts of stranger unless somebody verify or vet and tell them, say, that person is okay. You can trust them. You can let down your guard. I am going to assume that the lady that she went to meet, Damika Wise, sell her some sorts of sham. Told her that she have something, so therefore just bring the money, meet me at Portmore, and then I will take the money and I will make funeral arrangements. When this elderly lady reached the Portmore and she saw the person and the person told her to come into the car, she was not nervous. Maybe she was. However, she had spoken to that person for whatever reason. They had made arrangements prior to this. So therefore, when she go in the car, she don't know so she are going in a vehicle with two other men in there. She did not know the intention of these two other men. People, this lady is 60-year-old. This lady has no sorts of gang affiliation. This lady don't have no quacko where do anybody anything. So therefore, this lady should have been safe. So that is why I come to the assumption that, listen, this to me seems like some sorts of conspiracy. Unless that family member that lives in Portmore can call and say, this is my side of the story. I am going to come or go by the opinion that this lady went to meet somebody to make some sorts of arrangement that involve some sorts of money being exchanged. However, the people was selling her a sham. They were selling her puss in a bag and almost put her in a some sorts of body bag. So people, just imagine you lose a sister or a brother. You kind of depressed, you feel down, especially in your elderly years. You left from your tranquil place, peaceful place, and then you come to a place and figure, at least I am going to give my family member, my sister, a decent send-off. Show my love, pay my final respect, make the arrangements to make sure that she is sent off appropriately based on the love that I have for her. And then when you come, you meet with somebody known only as Mrs. Wise. That your family member did not do their due diligence, did not verify or vet, send you out in the wolves, and then you almost lose your life. You go in a vehicle with 3 strangers, went to meet one, meet 2 more, and then those person, ATTACKEDU, a joke you up in your chest, in a some sorts of vehicle, you cannot move. Now people like me say, where this incident or where she met them, Portmore versus Clarendon, I am assuming, estimating about 45 minutes to an hour or so. I am assuming that they passed some sorts of toll. I am assuming that they thought that when them juke up this old lady, she was DEAD. However, she was playing possum. That means she had played DEAD. Until she realized them fling her out in some sorts of precipice. That was when she said to herself, it sound like them gone now. May I go cry out for some sorts of help. I am going to crawl out of this precipice at 60-something year old. All sorts of wound in my chest. The whole of my clothes BLOOD up. Luckily, some residents or a resident was passing by and heard the cry for help and rendered assistance. Now people, when we think about these generation of vipers, think about how selfish, how cruel, how evilous and demonic these people are. You actually met an elderly lady. Rob this elderly lady of her personal belongings, also cash. More than likely, I am assuming in my opinion, this was money for that funeral arrangement for her sister. So therefore, after this, sister in a bad situation in the hospital, almost DEAD, Left-FOR-D3D. Money gone. And then these people are so selfish. They find it okay for them to almost take out an old lady, rob this old lady, stab her in her chest, bring her about an hour or so in a vehicle, Left-FOR-D3D, and then fling her in a precipice, and then drive off and go about their business. People, you know see how them people at Tana, Jamaica. May I talk about the power, may I talk about the politician, may I talk about the friends, may I talk about the family, may I talk about the relative, may I talk about the neighbor them. You pretty much cannot trust anybody. You cannot put anything below anybody to do. People will do anything whenever money is the motive. They do not care about your distress. They do not care about your trauma. They do not care about you losing financially. They do not care the fact that you come to make some sort of arrangement to or for a sister that you recently lost. People, the heart of men, it is so cold. They have no conscience. They have no sympathy. No sorts of feeling. They are like some sets of animals. And the sad thing about situations like this is that when they do this stuff for petty cash, just to pay them bills, just to go to the club, go pop some sorts of champagne, just to buy a couple pairs of Clarks, them don't really care about nobody else but themselves. When it comes to money, it is the root of all evil, the actual love of money. People will plot and scheme, conspire to take away people that are their family with people that don't even know them. Once there's some sorts of involvement with some sorts of cash, And people, it is because of this lazy mentality that exists in Jamaica. Them don't want work. Them want everything the easy way and whatever they can do to achieve their objective. If it's even joke you up, can you up, leave you for DEAD or totally KILLU. Them not really care. Once them get what them want and you gone, they are okay with that. They are satisfied with that. They can go about their business. It does not rest on their conscience. It is just another victim. It is called anything to survive. Nothing is too low for them to do. So now, when the police go for people like them, I am speaking about Miss Miles, the two other suspects in the vehicle, and also to include the relative that she was staying with in Portmore. And you hear them a bawl. And you hear the poor kick down them door and put the tool in their mouth and press the trigger and pretty much take them out of this world. You hear people say, them never have to take them away. Them never have to do that. The poor them too cold. But people, like I've always said, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you take out somebody or try to take out somebody in a cold and callous way, whenever the relevant authority go for you or come for you, you should expect nothing but the worst, because you are nothing but filth. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. The link is in the description of this video. Bless up.